Alright, if you think this is just going to be a video of me showing a myriad of Marcus Rashford goals and highlights, well, you'd be goddamn right. Because the kid from Manchester is back, baby! And not only is he in the form of his life, ever since the World Cup, you can make an argument that he's been the best player in Europe. And to get here, after last year having the worst season of his life, by a long shot, and I mean the man was completely useless in front of net, to now doing things like this. I mean, I'm just gonna ask the question that we're all thinking. Is this the greatest resurrection to a career since Jesus Christ of Nazareth FC? But before we get into more Rashford highlights, like FIFA, I gotta pay some bills. This video is brought to you by Manscaped. Hey guys, this is your #1 Foundation, and you might have noticed in these videos that I seem a little bit more happier, and that's because I've been getting my sucked more. The #1 complaint my girlfriend has is that I haven't been trimming the hedges, but thanks to Manscaped, she's complaining no more. So that is why you have to go ahead and get yourself a Lawnmower 4.0. And you already know about this, but in order for them to go down there, you have to look good up here. Which is why I'm excited to give you guys a sneak peek at the Beard Hedger by Manscaped. This bad boy is a 7,200 RPM motor with a titanium-coated T-blade that can cut through the thickest of hair in a single stroke. And no more messing around with a million link guards. It's a single guard that can do 20 different hair lengths, and its unique design has a comb that lifts up even the most annoying flat-lying hairs. It's waterproof, cordless, and rechargeable, so trim in the shower or on the run. It's just the most convenient all-in-one trimmer out there right now. So if you're looking to grow a beard, or maybe you're already a sexy lumberjack, Manscaped makes beard care easy for you. So go to manscaped.com and use the promo code FATASIAN at checkout and get $20 off and free shipping on your first purchase. That's $20 off and free international shipping if you use the promo code FATASIAN at manscaped.com. Once again, thank you to Manscaped for helping me shave my beard and my balls. Now, back to the show. Come, my children, gather around, for Easter has come early in Manchester, as their prodigal son has risen from the dead. Marcus, the Messiah Rashford, has 21 goals in all competitions, one off of his best season total in his career, and we still have 3 months to go in the season. He's the first player to hit 100 goals, the century mark for Manchester United, since who? I'll let you guys guess. Wayne Rooney, the angry ginger himself. And he has returned from a sensational World Cup, where he was arguably England's best player, and he didn't even start. The man came off the bench and just kept on putting in bangers, like this. Naughty. And he's carried that form from Qatar all the way back to Manchester. As since the World Cup, he hasn't just been Manchester United's top scorer. He hasn't just been the Premier League's top scorer. He's been the top scorer in all of Europe. Yes, in the 14 games since the World Cup, Marcus Rashford has scored or assisted in 13 of them. Not even the likes of Haaland and Mbappe have scored more than the kid born and raised near Old Trafford. And to say he's in form is an understatement. He's a living absurdity at the moment, as he has scored more goals in 2023 than Liverpool and Chelsea combined. His 21 goals on the season are the same as Martinelli, Saka, and Gabriel Jesus combined. And all of these absurd numbers are made even more shocking because this sensational season from Marcus comes after one of the most horrific seasons we've ever seen from a Manchester United player ever. But let's just quickly time wizard you back to the beginning, because it's easy to forget that we're not really talking about a player like Haaland or Mbappe. He was not some highly touted prospect like that. Remember, he only made his debut for the club because every other first-team striker was injured. And in fact, if Anthony Martial didn't hurt himself in pre-game warm-ups, maybe we never know the name of Marcus Rashford. But those many years ago, Louis van Gaal was forced to give him a start up against Midgetland, and lo and behold, the kid scored. And then he was forced to start him again versus Arsenal, and what did he do? Scored a brace. And yeah, you do those things, Old Trafford's going to take a liking to you. He became an instant fan favorite. And that first season was magical for the kid rocking that number 39 kit. People started raving about the potential that this kid could reach. And things looked promising early on in his career. There were flirtations with greatness. Coming runner-up for the Golden Boy Award one year, and then that sensational performance in Man United's historic comeback versus PSG in the Champions League. But every time it seemed that he would turn the corner to starting to achieve that full potential, his form would dip again. There just seemed to always be something that kept him from reaching that next level. Now he would go on to score 20-plus goals in both the 2019 and 2020 season, which were solid numbers, but he wasn't exactly lighting the world on fire. And you could blame a lot of factors for that. The revolving door at manager, untimely injuries, or maybe all the strikers Man United bought that Rashford had to play second fiddle to. Whatever it was, just something would always keep Marcus Rashford from reaching that 90 potential career mode gave him back in FIFA 18. And then came the darkest part of Rashford's career. After a poor showing at Euros 2020, where he missed a penalty in the final that would seem the target of racist abuse online, it would somewhat foreshadow his upcoming year at Manchester United, as his form absolutely torpedoed into the ground, and then it burrowed under the ground until it got into hell and nestled into Satan's asshole. Basically a Sam Smith performance. 5 goals in all competitions. A stark fall off from the 20 plus goals in all competitions for the 2 seasons prior. And it looked as ugly as the stats sound, completely lost on the pitch, just hopeless in front of net. The man couldn't hit Lizzo if he had another Lizzo, and you could be forgiven if you thought that this was the end for this guy. I myself, a longtime Marcus Rashford fan, gave up on hope. The general consensus wasn't even that we should sell him, it was indifference if we should sell him. And it was just sad. You saw a walking husk sapped completely of all his confidence, all of his ability, and to think that this was once our young, bright, brilliant starlet. How did this happen? Well, a deep dive into that reveals a myriad of reasons. The easiest explanation is that at surface level, this was just an awful year for Manchester United, period. In fact, it was their worst season since the inception of the Premier League. The team wasn't creating many scoring opportunities, and the few that came Rashford's way, he squandered, which then led to an even further drop in confidence and just kept on death spiraling from there. And then there was the issue of fitness. Rashford has gone on record in stating that he hasn't been right or even fully fit for a minimum of the last 2 to 3 years. Many lingering injuries and the occasional knock had not just been sapping his ability on the pitch, it had been sapping away at his mental well-being. And that brings us to what Rashford blames as the main culprit for his horrendous form, and that was his mental health. Now, Marcus has spoken candidly earlier this season that it wasn't just the on-pitch issues or even the dressing room drama that affected him, but it was off-the-pitch issues that really messed him up. In fact, it screwed him up so much that he said he wasn't even surprised when it bled onto the pitch. He actually expected to be shit when he played because his head wasn't in the right place. Now, it hasn't come to light what exactly those issues were. Pundits like Gary Neville have suggested perhaps that maybe it was Rashford's philanthropic work, and while he has done sensational work there, it might have taken away from his focus on his bread and butter, football. And now others have speculated that it might have been more of a personal issue. And if we're looking at the timeline, it coincides with Marcus Rashford breaking up with his longtime sweetheart during this season of horror. But be it girl problems, maybe family issues, maybe he just couldn't get a dub in Warzone. Whatever it was, the nightmare manifested its way onto the pitch. And what came out was just some of the most putrid performances we had ever seen from the man. And at the end of the horror season, most had given up on the young Manchurian. Many were saying that it would take him moving on to another club for him to reach his full potential. And some others thought that the book was just written. Rashford was just another high potential youngster that never amounted to any more than a squad player. But out of the smoldering rubble that was Manchester United's last season, their front office would actually make a good decision for once, as they brought in a little bald Dutchman to be their new manager. Now, the relationship between Ten Hag and Marcus Rashford has been a little bit of a weird symbiosis. The recent pictures might have you seem that they're quite the butt buddies, but let me remind you, merely a month ago, he benched Marcus Rashford because of disciplinary reasons. But it seems like the tough love has actually paid off. Now, if you clicked on this video, you probably already know about Ten Hag. He's been given all the accolades for turning Manchester United around, and a lot of Marcus Rashford's return to form can be placed at the Dutchman's feet. He's gone and given Rashi consistent run at his preferred left wing spot, where the stats have shown that he has historically been twice as productive as a player. Too often throughout his career, he's been dragged all over the formation to accommodate bigger profile names. But with no big purchases to challenge Rashford this summer, and you combine that with the departure of Cavani and now Cristiano Ronaldo, well, this has allowed a void that Marcus has greedily gobbled up. But what I don't think is talked about enough is that Ten Hag has equally heavily relied on Marcus. Rashford has actually scored 10 plus more goals than any other player since the Dutchman's appointment. And at the moment, if anything, he's over-relying on Rashford instead of the other way around. And the run that he has been on isn't just some superficial goals that he scored against piss-poor teams to pad the stats. Rashford's goals have won them crucial points against the biggest teams in the league: Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, and they are clutch goals. Only Erling Haaland has scored more game-winning goals in the league this year. And this is going to be a little bit of an overly dramatic statement, but it's true. Without Marcus Rashford, Manchester United would be sitting mid-table And it seems like Ten Hag knows this, because given the opportunity to take some credit for Marcus Rashford's miraculous resurgence, Ten Hag said this: "I am not Harry Potter. It's just confidence. Every player has to make and get his own confidence. He fought for this. He invested in this. And we're looking for a coach to maybe give a little bit more credit to. I think instead of Ten Hag, we should be giving our flowers to Mr. Benny McCarthy. The ex-Porto and Blackburn striker has brought in as a striking specialist. And under his tutelage, we are seeing Marcus not only return to form in front of net, but he is scoring in ways that we've never seen him do before. While his left foot has never been bad per se, Rashford, before the season, would seemingly do everything in his power to not use it. And he was never good with his head, which led him to be quite predictable in the ways that he would try to score. And that has been one of the key changes to this season. He's put in the work, drilled hard, and now he is firing them in with his left, with his right, and he is finally taking advantage of his 6-foot frame and starting to bang in some headers. And considering that Benny was a heading specialist during his time as a player, it seems likely that a lot of this level up is coming courtesy of him. But it's not just the final product that has improved. Rashford's positioning off the ball has shown great improvement. Now, he's always been dangerous playing off the shoulder of a defender, but now we're seeing him pop up with poacher goals, getting onto the end of crosses. He is just increasing his football IQ to levels we had simply not known possible for him. And then you factor in his fitness. He's finally gotten that shoulder surgery that has been bothering him for 2 years, and he's back to 100% HP for the first time in a long time. As for the off-the-pitch issues, he's reportedly cut back on some of his off-the-field responsibilities, and he's reconciled and is now actually engaged, congratulations Marcus, with his longtime sweetheart. So whatever was bothering him a year ago, all that is cleared up, like a proactive commercial. And take it from the man himself, it's behind me now. It's something that happened in the past, so I'm just looking forward now. We're going to keep enjoying ourselves. And while he hasn't revealed what his now iconic point to his head celebration actually means, I think it's safe to say that he's in the right headspace now. We all can learn a little from Marcus Rashford. Not all of us are going to be blessed like the Mbappes and Haalands of the world, with a life that is just linear progression of success after success after success. Far more likely, we will fall, we'll stumble, we'll fail. We will have times in our lives where people doubt us, where we doubt ourselves, when nothing can go right for us. But it's in those darkest moments that we can either choose to give up, or we decide to pick ourselves back up. Put in the time to self-improve, to self-love. And when the opportunity arises, come back. Not only better than ever, but reach the potential that we always knew we had all along. And who knows if Marcus Rashford stays at this Super Saiyan level for the rest of his career. But god damn it, I'm fucking rooting for him. And that is going to be my little profile on one of my favorite players, Marcus Rashford. If you did enjoy, go ahead, leave me a like. Help a brother out with this godforsaken algorithm. And yeah, thank you to all my patrons. Keeping me alive and well and keeping these videos coming out. I'll be back soon with another video next week. Till next time, stay thick.